honey love? What's up, girl? What's up, honey love? I see you. What you doing, Red Sonia? What's up, Sonia? Fat Mama Sonia. What's up, Fat Mama Sonia? What's up, Fat Mama Sonia? What's up, Mayday? Lord Mayday. What's up, boy? What's up, Lord Mayday? What's up, my boy Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? It's my big boy, Doc. What you say? All right. We are back. Welcome back to another episode, another week of Game Dog Talk. And of course, we got a special panel, legendary panel. We got, once again, back in the building, Mr. Schoolboy Richard Garcia. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Wonderful, man.
Good. Welcome everybody to the show, man. Glad you're here.
Yes, indeed. And of course, we have the legendary Rastaman Boone in the building. How you doing, Rastaman?
Yes, I bless up to the massive bulldog and massive out there. Glad to be back with the family this week. I missed y'all for a couple weeks, but had some other things we had to attend to. But I'm so glad to be with y'all tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And welcome down around. Big stepping to be here in a minute. You know. So, how's everything been going with y'all so far, Schoolboy? How was your week, man?
Good. Busy as usual. Family, always family. I'm stuck with them now. They don't leave.
Yes, sir. What about you, Rasta, man? How was your week?
You know, everything's coming along good. We moving them cars, and I just like riding. You know what I mean? You know, when you get to ride across the countryside, you know, I enjoy that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen, as you enter the building. Let me scroll up and do a quick roll call. See what we got in the building thus far. We got Game Dog Caribbean. Salute to your family. We got Extreme Excellence. Salute. Supreme Excellence. Salute. Cardinal Pledge. Salute. AJ. Mike Blanchard. Marino Kane Corso. Salute to you, fam. Vinny. Hugo. City Boy Kennel. Salute to you. Royal Family Pets. Salute. My brother Miami Snoopy 305 in the building. Mr. J-Dub, 20 Texas. Bulldog Slim. Salute. Hardy Dog, Pennsylvania up in here. Let's see here. Tony Gardner. Brother Joe Townsend. Salute, Joe. Always coming through representing the money and the magic. Salute, Joe. Appreciate the support. Let's see here. Arrowhead Kennels. Let's see. Mark Wonderlynch. El Dios de los Perros. Yeah, buddy.
Saludos. You could get it. Yeah.
Outlaw Texas Kennel. Salute. Ancestral Rage. Ezel Henry. Mike Lee. Salute.
Mike.
See, Rhodes Kennels. Verna Stones. Lockjaw. Von C. Live Life Real. Salute, bro.
Live Life Real.
T-Man. Soul Power. Salute. Let me see here. Brother Dr. Hood in the building. What's up, bro? Dan G. Young World. Bank Statement Kennel. Salute, fam. Welsh Kennels Combine. The lovely Brown Sugar. Tay Brown. How you doing, sister?
Tay.
Let's see. We got here. Dirt Road Kennels. Tony Brown. All right. Mark West. Lewis Jones. Carter Face Stiller. All right, y'all. I can't read everybody, but much love to everybody that's in the building. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all for being in here to support the channel every week. Smash that like button, and let's get right down to it. What's up, Smooth Monty? I see you. All right. So, first question. We have some good questions. We got a lot of good questions, actually. So, I picked out some of them, but the rest of them, I guess we can add to next week as well. from the ones that I didn't pick. First question for this week was: back in the day, did you prefer early starters or dogs that matured? I'll start with you, schoolboy.
Yeah, I liked early starters, and it's because that's what my blood was like. Now, there's an old saying, you know, early start, early to quit, and all that. That's only if you push them too soon. And just because they start early, don't mean they're going to pan out. But it's a good sign that you know that, or I knew, anyways. I can't speak for everybody, but it's a good sign that I knew at least they were on point. You know, that was part of their traits, and I like to see it. And you know, one of the things about it is because they start early. Some people, what will happen? What they'll do is they'll start them early, or they used to, and irregardless of whether they start early or they mature late or whatever, you know, you still need to wait till a little bit older, wait till they're a little bit more mature, wait till they're more developed. Most of it is their body developing, you know, their tendons, ligaments, you know, muscle, bone, all that, teeth especially, you know, they need to be fully formed, you know,
Right.
as far as that goes. But I liked it, you know. It doesn't mean that they're going to finish out right and end up to be good dogs. Is just another trait among a bunch of them that was part of my family of dogs. And when I saw it, I liked it. I had a few that didn't, you know, and that's okay too. You're going to have those, but most of mine did, and it was something I liked.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what about you, Rastaman Boone? Did you prefer early starters or dogs that matured?
You know, when I first started, you know, I was so fascinated with the early starters till I did too much early.
Right.
I did too much early.
Right.
Then as time went on and we developed this understanding of bulldogging, we decided that it was better to let them mature and become of age and then, you know, press on. But yeah, back in the day, man, shit, we ain't had no sense. All we knew, we just enjoyed the dogs, and a lot of times we did too much, you know. But you know, that's a part of the growing pain and the learning process of bulldogging. So I think it's good for anybody to go through the different experiences of it to be able to appreciate, you know, the understanding of it. Now, if you got somebody there guiding you step by step that know what they're doing, then okay, that's good. That's great, because then you don't have to go through a lot of the pain and the misunderstanding and the misusage of the animals. But if you don't, and you know, and that's your way of you know, getting where you need to be, hey, let the process happen, and you appreciate it as you go on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, you get better.
Agreed.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Salute to everybody in the building. I see you, Mr. Gumbo, my brother BFTB Boxing. I see you. Salute, salute. All right. Another question we got was, what performer / producer, I guess he means if the dog is a performer and a producer, what performer / producer would you say has changed their yard? Well, it has changed the yard or has a major impact on the breed. Okay, I guess what he means here for this question is what dog that was a performer and producer has changed the breed for the better, I guess. It might have made the best impact on the breed. What's up with you, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, in my yard it was Big Red. You know, I won one with him against Scratch and Stitch in 34 minutes against a one-time winner. He was a dog named Midnight Train. He was a son of Jack Carver's Night Train, which was the son of Eli Jr. And then he lost game 2 after that in an hour and a half. But he was a great producer. and that changed everything for me. He was a type you could breed him to anything and you'd get something pretty much, you know. He was the one that stands out the most, and he became more famous after I sold him, you know, because my yard was pretty much closed. But you know, after a couple of breedings, I had the confidence that no matter what I could or whatever I bred him to, you know, it worked. I even bred him to a female that I didn't know what her breeding was, and threw good dogs. And you know, I outcrossed him. He was already a 3-way cross. He was Jeep Miss Rage on the top and Red Boy on the bottom.
Right,
I bred him to his granddaughter, bred him to an unknown female, outcrossed him to Rascal stuff and a couple of inbred Jeep females, you know. And then he went on from there. They bred him to Chinaman stuff, even some Turtle Buster stuff, and you know, a lot of Jeep females and Eli stuff. And you know, one thing about him too, his offspring could produce as well. So those traits carried on. But for me, he's the one that made the most impact. And you could say he changed things for me, but you know, I got schooled on a lot of good dogs, so I knew what a good dog was by the time I got him, and he just fell right in line with that, you know. And you're looking for quality, you know, right. and performance, ability, athleticism, all that, you know. And he had a lot of that, but I think his best trait was his ability to produce. You know, they say that, you know, you're entitled to one good dog, and if that's true, he would have been the one. I had other ones that were good, and even some that for my taste produced just as good, but not better. You know,
right.
That would be the male. The female would probably be Sissy. She was the inbred daughter of Jeep, and again, she, you know, whatever she was bred to, she threw good dogs. You know, they just when you find something like that, when you get something like that, hold on to it. You know, it's like gold. They're worth their weight in gold, and they're hard to get. And you can make those kind of dogs, but that takes time too. And a lot of it is just, you know, they happen to turn out that way, and you happen to be the owner. And then what you do with them matters too, right. You know. So that'd be my pick for my stuff anyway.
Yes, indeed. Rastaman Boone, what's your take on the question is what performer / producer would you say has changed your yard and or had a major impact on the breed?
I would say Zebo. I didn't have Zebo, but I had dogs off of him. Mm-hmm. And my latest stone dog come down off that stuff. And then I won 4 with her, and I bought her from a friend of mine, and she had won with him. And then I took I won a couple with a couple of sons, and then one of her daughters. I no doubt I think I would have made double with her, but like I told y'all before, the kid left on the mill in the heat. But I had 1, 2 with her, and she just blew through the dogs. And so I her, and then as far as female, then males, we crossed the stuff into the Whitley stuff, and then we had a male Nimrod. He was real nice. Then I had Batman, and you know, I had a lot of good dogs down off that stuff, and so it changed. It changed. And matter of fact, I still love them dogs today. You know, I ain't got them. You know what I mean? But right. I still love them today. You know what I mean? I have one. You know, now don't get me wrong, you know, like the Rage, the Jeep, and all that stuff, that's how all my dogs are mixed up, with the Zebo Rage and all that stuff, with the Whitley stuff in it. And but I just love that family of dogs, man.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you something about that. there was a lot of people say that the Zebo dogs had weak teeth. Is any truth to that, or is that just a rumor?
Well, I don't know. You know, like I'm assuming that in some places it's how you feed, what you feed, and all that. You know what I mean? But man, we used to get them jokers. They teeth be long as your baby finger, man.
Right.
You know, and they knew how to use them too. You know, so that's what I liked. That's when I was first introduced to them. That's what I was introduced to. You know, seeing that. You know, them jokers, man, really, really hurt you real bad. You know, so. And I fell in love with that. I was like, man, I said, you know, let me try this family, and it kind of stuck with me. You know, I still love them dogs, but I truly believe there's great dogs in every line. I don't care how they breed it. If you breed them long enough, you're gonna get something good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the Zebo dogs, they could be destructive, you know, and that's the same way with the Jeep dog. So it's not it. I don't think it's so much that they have weak teeth, unless maybe they're inbred real tight and they lose that, you know. But you know, a lot of them, not a lot of them, but some, you know, they'll break their teeth because they're destructive. They're so high strung. They'll start fighting their chain and chew their bow and stuff like that. You know,
Right.
I had that problem with some of my dogs too. But they do have big ass teeth, like Rasta Man was saying. You know, and that's impressive. You know, when you see like that. You know, yeah,
Yes,
and
sir.
they could use them. They had a style that was, if you were around them enough, you know, and you saw them, you could tell, man, that's a Zebo dog. Real rough, usually front end, you know, chest and shoulders like that.
Yeah, yeah,
They fuck you up quick.
yeah.
People like that, you know. It's like a knockout artist in boxing. You know, they like the knockdown, knockouts.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I love it, man, because you know I remember I went over to my homeboy house, Butch, and you know Butch been dead probably about 30 years or more. I don't know. He been dead for a long time, but anyway, went over there and he was like, you know, bring one with you when you come. Okay, we get over there, man. I said, man, I ain't never seen nothing like this here.
Yeah.
I said, I gotta have you some of these.
Yeah, yeah.
I got
They make
the
they make you like them, you know.
hey, I got the wrong shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like 10 minutes, it's over.
Yeah, buddy.
I was
Yeah.
like, good gracious, man, where you get that from, you know? Yeah. But go ahead, Cap. Go ahead. Move along.
Yes, indeed. And another question is: has the panel ever hunted with a undershot dog, or should you, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of pit bulls are undershot. It just depends on how bad it is, whether they can use their mouth or not, and whether the four canines come together or they're crooked or offset, you know. Heavily undershot, I never seen one do too good like that, but I'm sure there's still some of those too. But it's typical for pit bulls to be undershot. It's part of it comes from the bulldog side of the family, you know, the English side, and a
Right.
lot of them are like that, you know. And even if you breed straight mouth dogs, you're going to get one every once in a while. You know, I had a female. In fact, it was Big Red Sister, Miss Rowdy, straight teeth, man. And the males I bred her to, straight teeth. But in each litter, she always threw one heavily undershot pup. Usually, it didn't matter if it was a male or female, but in the litter there would be one. I mean, just real pronounced. They couldn't really do nothing with their mouth. But it's something that's in there, and that's why it comes out. Even if you breed straight mouth dogs, you know,
Right.
dogs with the even bite, you know, because it's in their ancestry. But yeah, there's a bunch of them, man. You know, you name it, the bloodline, and it'll have it in there. You know, I wouldn't be too concerned about it unless it becomes an issue. You know, where
Right.
they can't hold on, can't do what they need to do, or something like that. But like I said, it's very rare when I seen even undershot dogs that couldn't do what they need to do. It really didn't have a bearing on their bite. Some people think that because that comes from the show the show side of dogs, you want everything as perfect as you can get it, you know, and they consider having a straight mouth the perfect bite. But, and it may be with other breeds, you know, with a pit bull, it's not.
Right.
That's a myth. If you want to add it on to one of them myth stories, remember we had that myths of dogs, undershot dogs can't bite. That's bullshit. They can.
Right. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yes, sir. Okay, Rasta man, what's your take on that? Have you ever went hunting with the undershot dog, and should you?
Grand Champion Bronson was undershot. If you looked in his mouth, you say, damn, he got an ugly set of teeth, but boy, they were long. he started out with 4 hangers, but after the schooling, he ended up with 2, one bottom one on the left and one top one on the right. And that's what he killed them all with.
Right.
So yeah, they could be used.
Yeah, if they're gonna be broke, that's probably the best way to be broke. I went into a bully son dog with Clayton blood like that, and it went 2 hours and 43 minutes. I won, but my dog still died, and that's the way he had it. One on the top was on one side, the bottom was on the other side. He punctured my dog's lung. And if my dog wasn't game, he wouldn't have won. He wouldn't have made it. He was them bully son dog can bite, man. And you know, I guess it's almost like a scissors, you know, it just comes together just right, holds on or something. I don't know, but he punctured my dog's lungs either way.
Shit.
But you know, talking about Zebo, he wasn't, according to everything I've read and been told about him, you know, he wasn't that puncturing, cutting type. He was a crusher, you know. So sometimes dogs like that, they don't need to cut you. They don't even need a whole lot of teeth. They could have broken teeth all in their mouth, but it's that pressure that they crush you with that does the damage, you know. And in that respect, hell, you don't need no teeth. I think Darren Tupper had one like that. He had no teeth, and he was still a killer, you know.
Right.
I think it may have been that Grand Champion freebie dog. I'm not sure, but he talks about it from time to time. That dog didn't have no teeth, and he still killed shit, you know. But I would guess it's because of that pressure, you know, like a vice or, you know, something. They can crush shit, break bones, and, you know, heavy bruising and damage, swell you up and stuff like that, you know.
Right. I had a female that was down off Misty, which was down off of Zebo. And I had a daughter to her, Misty. And every time I try to roll her, she wouldn't roll, you know? And she get off the chain and she put him to sleep. And I'm like, how the hell you gonna get off the chain and put somebody to sleep? But every time I face you, you don't want to do nothing. And I'm talking about every time I would, you know, whenever I would leave, she get off that chain. Shoot, you come back, somebody gone. You know what I mean? They out of it. And so she wasn't biting where you can see holes. You would see knots, look like cantaloupes in their chest.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, you know, it don't be one, it'd be a big knot on this side and a big knot on the other side.
Yeah, like,
damn, this bitch can bite.
Yeah.
You hurt him up real bad, man. But you can go ahead and move on, Kev.
Yes, sir. Salute, Mr. Sheldon. I see you in the building. All right, let me see here. Schoolboy, did you have something to add to it?
I was just gonna say, behind what Rastaman said, you know, that pressure, it causes the fluid to come to that area, and they'll get big pockets of fluid just swollen up, or big knots of, you know, in the muscles.
I think it's blood.
Yeah,
that's
like
what
that.
it is. Yeah, it's blood. Because there's no way they can get bit like that, and it's just like inflammation.
Right.
Information takes time to build.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. It does. It wouldn't swell up that fast.
No. So it's blood, but it's internally.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But it's damaging because I'm talking about, man, I had one we were gonna take to the show and shit. Emma didn't make it.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And another question we got is, historically speaking, of course, have you ever seen or thought of or know of any champions or grand champions that you know of that had little to no ability, but basically got there off of their gameness, primarily just their gameness? What about you, Mr. Garcia?
I'm trying to think. I've been trying to think since I seen the question. I'm sure there's some. I would say some of the Crenshaw blood that Dibble had. They were kind of like that. And maybe that he was a grand champion, 5-time winner. He beat Vince. What was his name? Wesley's. Damn, I forgot now. But they're the type. When you see them, they don't look like they're doing too much. Some people would even call them plugs, but they're steady. They're always in there, and they end up winning, man. All the fancy moves don't bother them, and they're thick and durable. Thick bones. And they take good punishment, but they set a pace that ain't real fast, and they ain't impressive like some dogs are, but they win, and they just keep at it. They don't turn. They don't. They're in hole most of the time. They don't come out of hole. L.A. That was that dog's name. Wesley's L.A. He was a 5-time winner. And
right.
Phil Dibble had a couple of, getting windy out here, man.
Yeah.
Phil Dibble had a couple. Champion Invader, I think was the one's name, and but those were that type of dogs. They're all bred down. If you look at the Carver pedigrees where they have the Ed Crenshaw, E Crenshaw stuff. They're all those dogs go back to that kind of stuff. Granger had it, and who was some of the other ones? Maybe Lars, and it was pretty heavy in the Southwest. And I think Carver used it, because he was always looking for mouth, because back at that time, you say the 50s and early 60s, they weren't really known as long distance dogs. Some of them did go some distance, but most of them were short order cooks, and they could bite, And
right.
and it's funny because they weren't really known for gameness way back then, whereas in later years that was one of their fortes, was gameness. So it's just a matter of breeding. When you add something or you improve on something, you lose something else. So maybe they improved on the gameness and they lost some mouth. Not all of them, but it's just a matter, through the years as you breed, you're trying to get better dogs, and they were solid dogs. The white dogs were kind of like that too. They come from that stuff too on the bottom side. Thick, heavy bone, big ass teeth like Rastaman was talking about. Long and short, bow-legged, sway back, cowhawk like that. Just durable dogs, man.
Yes, sir. Salute to my brother, I am Trill Will, in the super chat. Much love, much appreciation, Will. He says, putting up my backsplash in the kitchen, listening to this good old dog talk. Salute to y'all guys. Salute, Trill Will. Appreciate you, bro.
Salute to you, brother Trill Will. To the maximum.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother Boone, what's your take on that? You ever seen a champion, a grand champion that got there primarily just on gameness?
Cunningham's Champion Boomer. When we got together and did my turbo dog on him, I thought that it was going to be like a little different talent, but the talent, he and his brother, which was Hachi, the talent to me was the same. It's just that at that time, like I said, I couldn't figure out why they had the dog on the outside of that barn in the sun. And I had Turbo in the air conditioning. But see, they had a plan. See, I didn't know nothing about the plan. You know what I mean? And the plan was we wasn't gonna be in no air conditioned building, and we wasn't gonna have no fan in the area. But see, me thinking the opposite, and it wasn't that way. But I figured it out when it was all over. But that wasn't the time to figure it out. But you know, but they had a good strategy. But Boomer died from the assault that he took, and Turbo died from the heat exhaustion giving it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, and Turbo went down swinging all the way to the end, but and on the last scratch they went right at 3 hours, and on the last scratch it was Boomer turned to come, and man, he fell down about 4 or 5 times, man, and made that scratch, and I said, shit, I gotta give me some of that.
Indeed.
So Mr. Whitley, one of my dog buddies, he had Whitley's Ike, which was a little mate brother to Boomer and Hachi. But you know, at the business of Turbo, Turbo, you know, broke both of them up, and we won the first one. We lost the second one, but it went 3 hours, but you know, all 3 dogs died. And so, you know, but I told them that, I said, if you win, because I just couldn't see, and Turbo had them old big old long Zebo teeth, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And buddy, when he put them in, he be trying, you know, hey, I done seen him have Joker just laid over, you know what I'm saying? And but he stayed there. I'm gonna say Boomer took it. I can honestly say he took it, and he made that last scratch, and I was so impressed. I said, "Shoot, man, I'm gonna breed to his brother," and that's what I did. I bred Lady Stone to Ike, and I got dogs out there, and they was biting like hell, and they stay there. I mean, I just loved it, man. So, you know, that's the beauty of these dogs, man, is coming in contact with competition and being able to appreciate competition, not physically trying to contest a man physically. When you go to competition, you're competing. That's what it's all about. Competitive spirits, right?
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute to Shaw Holly in the super chat. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. What's up, main event Mark? I see you in the building, bro. Salute to Marino Kane Corsos. Salute to you, man. Like your channel. Thank you for the support. He says, good evening. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening.
What's up, my brother? What's up?
Yes, indeed. Okay. Another question we had here is, what's the panel's opinion of the best male and female performer that ever looked through a collar? Okay, so this don't have to be your dog. It could be your opinion, just your opinion on what the best male and female performer was of all time. We can start with you, Mr. Garcia.
Well, I never saw him go, but you know, I've met Jim Stinson, but I would say Grand Champion Art. You know, just going by his record. You know, 7-time winner, 6 or 7-time winner. He was one of those when they bred him. He produced, you know, from almost every litter, if not every litter. They bred him to Carver females, and then when he moved to Ohio, when Dave Adams bought him, they bred him to Zebo stuff and Turtle Buster stuff too. You know, produced several champions, a couple of Grand Champion Mike, and a couple of Champion Lukes. You know, there was 2 different Champion Lukes off of Art. Champion Candy. I don't know if Candy was off of him or they bred him to Champion Candy, but just nostalgic and history wise, you know, dogs I've seen, man, you know, there's a lot. Even though there's not that many great dogs, you know, when you see them, they stand out. You remember them. You know, Grand Champion Badger was like that. Great performer, hard biting, stifle, gut eating, foul fighters, kidneys, all of that. Champion Bad Billy, a brisket specialist. He probably had he was a big dog too. He was like a 49, 50 pounder, but he probably had the biggest teeth I ever seen in a dog. And when I seen them, they was already chipped. They were still long and thick like that. That Champion Chamuco in Mexico, you know, he's a red boy with some little gator blood, you know. He was just a killer, man. He was game too.
Right.
You know, my pick is always my favorite from the past, even though I never saw him, would be Art. You know, some people argue Zebo, you know, and I wouldn't argue with that argument, you know. And here's a story. I talked to old, because you always talk about, you know, who do you think will win, who you know, this and that. And Dave Adams at the time, he had both Art and Zebo.
Right.
And my buddy seen both of them go. So it came up, you know, who do you think would win? And he liked Art better. And Art was my favorite. He knew that. We've been talking about that for years, you know, because he had a chance to breed to Art, but he missed the opportunity. And he didn't get to breed to him. But he did breed to Zebo, and he got good dogs off of that. That was it's Frank Roca. So I asked him, who do you think would win if they would have got together, you know?
Right.
And without a beat, he said Zebo. I said, really? He goes, yeah. He said, and I said, was it because Art was more patient, you know? And he said, yeah, pretty much. That's why. Art had a certain pace. And he was a killer too, a finisher, you know? But it's just Zebo would get on you right away. He didn't give you no time to even think about it. And be in your ass, he'd be on your shit. And most dogs, you know, they couldn't. Most of his stuff was in the 20 minute and under range, you know. The only reason he went almost 2 hours with Champion Greaser was because he was coming up 4 pounds. He only had a 3-week keep on him. And Greaser was a 4-time winner and a good dog and had the style. Again, you know, he was a head dog.
Right.
So nothing wrong with Greaser, but it's just Zebo was that great of a dog. But that was his opinion, you know. I'm not saying it's factual or anything like that.
Yes,
but
indeed.
you know, there's a reason why people seen them was great. And both them dogs were handled by different people in different parts of the country. Bred in different females, this and that. Sometimes Zebo gets some bad press, you know, because one thing I'll say, you know, you'll lose something if you heavily inbreed the Zebo stuff. You can lose something, you know. So most people that had success with it, they would line breed him, you know, or cross him. And the other thing is, there's a lot of Zebo dogs out there because people didn't report them. They were off of Zebo that people didn't even know about. You know, it made champion, and the ones they do, they were badasses, man. There's nobody that said, oh, he was an above average dog, or he was a good dog, and this and that. Most of them were just fucking killers, just top notch. Maybe not his caliber, but at their weight, like Champion Willie, and I think Champion Ruby, and like that. What's the other one? What's that guy's name? I don't know, but he was a terrible, terrible dog. It's beautiful in structure, beautiful in conformation, and just a fucking killer. And a man biter too. I forgot his name. It'll come to me later.
Right.
But you know, I seen grandson of Zebo. You know, he was a 2-time winner, beat some good dogs. You know, just a good dog. I seen a couple of Zebo dogs up in Michigan, like that. You know, but he's up there with everybody else, you know. But my pick is Art for that reason.
Okay.
You know, those reasons anyways, you know. Champion, grand champion, ROM, not bred that much, produced every litter, you know. He's a killer, a finisher, handled and conditioned by at least 3 different people, maybe 4. You know, Stinson Glover had him, Dave Adams had him, Richard Johnson had him. They all matched him. They even matched him when he was old. His last match was he was probably 7 or 8 years old, and he beat the dog in 18 minutes. You know, that was his last match. So that's impressive. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before I go to the roster, man, let me read this super chats real quick. Salute to Quality Power washing in the super chat. Says salute to the OGs on the panel. Just got myself a 5-month-old male red boy cowboy listening and learning. Thanks. Salute to you, man.
Salute.
Salute, my brother.
Champion Zuricha, I don't know how to pronounce that one. Salute to your family. Salute to you in the super chat. He says, salute Richard from Clyde. He says, salute Richard from Clyde. Which dog man spends the most money on what's that?
Spends the most money at Adelitas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that a hangout? Is that a hangout?
That's a hangout. Yeah, it's a hangout. We can talk about it backstage. What's up, Clyde? How you doing, brother? Yeah, maybe Clyde does. I don't know, man.
Hey, Clyde, if they pretty, I want to go too.
I tell you who does spend a lot of money. It's these Dogs Man kids that go over there, and they go hog wild, man. I've seen them in there for hours, man. They don't even come out the room. They just hand money outside the door, you know.
Hey, they done got carried away.
They won't leave. They stay in there, man.
Hey, look here. All I want to do is be just like the rental car place. Go to the rental car, rent for the day, and I'm gone.
That's it.
Right.
Day, night, week. They go in there. They weigh 180 pounds. They come out. They're 130 pounds. They lost so much weight.
Yes, sir. Roster Man Boom, what's your take on that question as far as the best male and female performers they ever looked through a collar?
Well, you know, quite natural. You know what I'm gonna say to Zebo, though. You know, Zebo was the standard, and the work that he put in. Lonzo Pratt, you know, right here, right down the street from me. You know, right around the corner from me. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a lot of good days at his place, and met a lot of great people, and a lot of people that was a fan of the Zebo dogs, and I met a guy in Canada. I met some people in a lot of different places, you know, and that's why, you know, at one time, you know, like early on, I just thought that you know, the Zebo dogs were just the only thing that was ever having, you know, worth or ever having, you know what I mean?
Right.
But as you know, going through my journey, it became evident that there was a lot of quality dogs in different places. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could go somewhere and a joker have it, like when we was at Ricky Jones one night, and the guy came to me. He said, "Listen, Boom," he said, "I like you, man." He said, "You want to make some money?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, bet all you can on my little dog. She don't want about 5 or 6. I said, "Yeah." Shoot, man, I bet Ricky. And man, she killed a dog in about 8 minutes. That's about 6 minutes, 8 minutes. I said, damn. What the Hey, I couldn't believe that shit, man. It was like, you know, it's like, okay, you having a dream. No, you're doing something that was so enjoyable, and then all of a sudden some magic appear about this dog being this magnificent dog, and you say okay, and you're going along with the little story, and then it happened. You look at the dude smile, you know, they're like, damn, thank you, man, thank you, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of great ones that I have managed to see. You know, we can speak on, you know, the Grand Champion Wrangler, you know, Tornado, Little Sister. You had Tyrone, you had Little Joy, Joy. You had who else? You had Matt McGee. Yeah, just so many different people, man. And I know I'm gonna forget somebody, and they're gonna say, "Damn it, you didn't say nothing about my dog." Apologize to all y'all brothers out there, because I know y'all got them good dogs out there. I know they out there. Just people have to see them, and once they see them, then they'll know. But yeah, but Zebo is at the top of the list for me.
All right. And another question we got here is, if you could pick through anybody's yard throughout time, what yard and what 3 dogs would it be? Let's start with you, Mr. Garcia.
I'd probably say Earl Tudor, Spike, Black Widow, and Blackjack Jr. Blackjack Jr. was a reported 9-time winner. He 7 of them are reported, and he gave up as much as 10 pounds. I don't think he ever fought a dog at his weight. He was like a 58-pounder. So he fought dogs that were, 60 pounds, 62, 68, this and that,
Right.
Finish them all. Just a killer. Spike, same way, 4-time winner. He's one of those, he started off at 43, and I think he ended up at 46. He beat, Jorko Vino dog, and just, it's a killer. Black Widow, she was never matched, but she was supposed to be a solid bitch as far as performing, but just about everything they bred her to. What I would do if I had them 3, I'd breed them both to Black Widow. That's back in the olden times. If more modern, I would say Boerboels, Dirty Mary, Bobby Jr., and Champion Bolt Action.
Right.
So it's just because I like the Boerboels dogs.
Right.
But even though Art is my favorite, if I was going to take Art, I'd breed Art to Honey Bunch.
That'd be nice.
Just it'll work. It's bound to work. Gotta work. Stuff like that. And DIBO comes from the Henry dogs, which is what Blackjack Jr. was. So there's no doubt it would have worked. He would have worked with Black Widow, just like Spike did work with Black Widow. They bred her to Spike and DIBO, produced good dogs, man.
Yes, sir.
Those would be my choices.
Right, good picks. Rastaman Boone. If you could pick through anybody's yard throughout history, whose yard would it be, and what 3 dogs would you take?
Throughout history, Matt McGee's Panther is a Zebo dog.
Mm-hmm.
Lonzo's Mike, and that Zero female he had. I think that was her name, Zero. I believe that was her name.
Okay.
I don't know. That'll be it.
Okay.
Lot of DIBO blood, man. That's good stuff.
Hey, you know what they gonna do, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mike. A lot of people don't know about him. That's Mike Okie stuff. Greenwood had it. Ozzie Stevens had it. Lonzo had it. Matt. Lot of people use that stuff from the Great Lakes area. He was a good producer. Those dogs are put up nice. Talking about conformation and ability and all that. Structure.
Yeah.
look like a fucking racehorse.
Right.
They're beautiful dogs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could go win a confirmation show and then whoop your ass later on that night.
Salute to Mr. Gumbo in the super chat. Appreciate you, man. He says 78. What do you think about? What do y'all think about Queen of Hearts? Yeah, we talked about Queen of Hearts a lot.
Gumbo. Yeah,
salute, Mr. Gumbo.
Salute.
What you think about Queen of Hearts, Roster man?
Big up, Mr. Gumbo, Mr. Gumbo, Mr. Gumbo. What's up in there? Listen here. You already know. Joe Abraham put a damn good product on the damn floor. And Queen displayed everything about Joe Abraham, heart and soul. So we all know that she's one of the greatest dogs, one of them, through a collar. Yeah. You can put her in that class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Your thoughts?
She beat, I was going to say, she beat, champions, 2-time winners, she beat, I mentioned this before, she beat a bitch named Blondie, beat her twice, beat Rebel Kennels, a sister to Champion Sandman and Champion 2 and Ruby and all that. They just, she beat a 4-time winner. She's a badass, man. He got a good deal when he got her, man.
Yeah, you said he paid $800, right?
I don't know.
You could have got it for $800.
For 1,000.
For 1,000, yeah.
She was a 2-time winner, and that's probably when Mr. Abraham bought her. I didn't buy her. She was open for sale. And Boerboels was a friend of mine. He offered her to me, and I turned it down. And that's probably when he bought her. Mm-hmm. And so he won at least 6 with her. And,
right.
She was just a badass. She was an 8-time winner. Probably could have won more. I don't know what she did. She produced good dogs too. That's at BOLIO Boomerang Cross. All those dogs, the bottom side of some of the best boomerang stuff to come down the pipe, man. It's all that, stuff from Baker Davis, down from Baker Davis stuff, Geronimo, right. And I think, it's going in my head now, but just some good Zeb and a lot of good dogs, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Officially Game Bread Monk in the super chat. Much love, much appreciation, fam. He says salute to the panel. Thank you, man. Salute to you. My brother, welcome
glad you're here.
Brother Monk.
What's up, Ram?
What's happening?
Ram. What's happening, brother?
Mr. Boom. Oh, Cooley, man. Finally got free.
Welcome down. Welcome down. Welcome down.
What's happening? OG Boone to the maximum.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you gonna do it. Do it to it.
There's that short order cook, huh? That's a pic of that dog, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. It take longer for a pizza to come. He be wrapping it up. We out the door before Domino's get there.
Yeah. Yeah, he make that 15-minute time limit or whatever it was easy, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Half hour, whatever it was.
Yeah, especially if you're not fucking good at what you do to neutralize him right off the bat. You out there, you hurt. Cause he had a dumbass tin mouth.
Yeah.
So wherever he hit you, he was punching you, and it was leaking. So he was a fast starter and a fast finisher.
Whoa. And see, that's what I loved about the Zebo dogs is, man, when you got one that's right, buddy, if you can't get out the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, the Zebo stuff I had, I would have still had it if they wasn't producing that little cleft palate shit we was talking about on the last show. Made them hard to breathe, but all them motherfuckers, boy, you can't get them off you. They going in your throat, in your guts. Motherfucking lesbians gonna go in your pussy and bite it off. There was some vicious dogs, a lot of finish.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ram, let me ask you, if you could pick through anybody's yard throughout time, what yard and what 3 dogs would you take?
I would go to Henry's yard first. Get some of that old blackjack stuff, some of them old killing dogs, them old Henry dogs. And then I'll probably pull up on this Pat Patrick shit when Bolio was still over there and get something right off Bolio. And shit. And I go back to my old yard to be the last three. If I could mix them three up together, it's Peaky and the Brain in this bitch. Ain't nobody winning nothing else.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
finna kill them all. But it's so many just, I don't know. That's kind of a hard question because each generation got its own fucking great dogs, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Mr. Garcia generation, you know, he was there when Jeep was there, you know? You got OG Boone, he was there with all that shit he had with the, what was it, Grand Champion Flop Flop? All them dogs, you know, was great dogs at a time. And I was
Flop
there
Flop.
for the ones in my time. So
Flop
that's
Flop
kind of
wasn't
hard.
my dog, but Flop
Oh
Flop
yeah,
was
but I'm saying,
definitely yeah,
yeah,
but I
for
was
the
just
time you
saying,
was there though to see that great dog,
yeah.
you know, in action. That was your generation's good dog, you know.
Well, you can go back to Jeep and Zebo and
Oh, I forgot you ain't Mr. Garcia old cat. Yeah, you be tricking me because you still got your pro hawk like me and shit. You still got a flat top and shit. Like, popping that young nigga shit, you ain't young though.
hey, look, I just might look a little young. I don't know.
Yeah, you know my uncle age. Like,
Yeah. But but back then, you know, the Grand Champion Rage and all that stuff, man. Back then, them days, Grand Champion Assassin, all them dogs, man. Them was some good days and good times, you know. And a lot of the people from that era, and the era before, and the era after, you know, them left us and went on to, you know, to the Most High. But we still live in their memory, you know, the legacy that they have left, you know. And so, you know, and time just keep moving, and we all phase to the next stage, and the next generation to be doing what we doing now, and still moving along.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
like a perpetual growth. You know?
Hey, there you go. It don't stop.
And let me give a shout out to the sister Lala D in the building. I see you, sister. What's up, Eli, brother Eli in here. Hamza the Lion here. Salute to y'all in the chat, man. And salute to Smooth Monty. Came through heavy in the super chat, showing love. Much love and much appreciation, Smooth Monty. He says, outside of North America, what are some lines, some good lines that have been developed in other parts of the world? Good question. Let's start with you, Mr. Garcia.
Yeah, I'd go to Mexico first. You know, all that good. Holy Son, Eli, you know, Boudreaux. You know, back in the day, they were getting dogs from, you know, Floyd and Carver and Ray Long and Pro Hunter,
Maloney.
Victor Witzel. Yeah, I'm talking about the Bully Son stuff, Eli stuff. You know, and then you know, Morphine got Booger and Red Lady. That Booger is Maloney stuff, like you're talking, Graham. And the Red Lady was old Ed Crenshaw, Stu Fowler stuff. You know, they kind of mix that with the Hunter Red. Hunter Red was a brother to Satchmo Bully and Satch and Long's Baby and Long's Tuffy. You know, they put all that stuff together, and you know that the progeny from all that stuff is still around. You know, you got a lot of you know, there's Morphine and Rodriguez and Garcia and Diaz and the Santander brothers, and you know, I'm talking way back in the day. And you got what's his name? He just passed away. Everybody, T Ball. What's his name? He passed away a few years ago. Everybody got his stuff, man. It's all They call it Mexican Eli.
Oh, Espinosa.
He's another one. The other guy they got. It's from. Yeah, I think he got the dog from Tom Garner. The hell's his name?
Yeah, not Morphine, he died a few years ago too, but the other
Yeah, yeah.
dude had the stuff kind of bred like him a little bit. Damn.
Yeah. That Afugatu stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, the people gonna hate me for forgetting his name.
Yeah.
But you know, Ledesma, they all have little bits here and there of all that stuff. Man, you look at those pets, they'd be impressive. So I would say, you know, in Mexico,
Enrique Morphine.
yeah, that's his name. But what's that other guy's name? Damn, it's tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I
and
smoke
then
too much.
yeah, and then you know, in Europe, you know, they got a lot of the, you know, like
Arnaldo Cardenas.
There you go. That's him.
Man, that shit was gonna bug the hell out of me, man.
Yeah. You ain't that high, man. You're good. You're good. Yeah, and in Europe, you know, they started getting you know, the Bolio stuff, and then you know, they had the alligator bully son crosses, and you know, the fox blood, Fox and Snubby. Fox was Boomerang's brother. Snubby was Champion Tonka and Crash brother, you know, Cremator, all that stuff. They put all that stuff together over there. And then, you know, you could say the Billy stuff is its own bloodline, and what's that one we talk about too? Croata,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff. Down in Central South America, you got the Invicto, Big John stuff, you know, a lot of the Mayday, Bolio crosses, stuff like that. So everybody, you know, in their own area, in their own time, they'll produce their own family of dogs, their own strains or bloodlines or whatever you want to call them, which is great. I think it's great because you got this and that going here and there, and you know, if you're good at it, you're going to make something out of it, and they've done that. You know, even Eastern Europe and all that. You know, they had some of the boil stuff and a lot of different bloodlines. But yeah, they all over. You know, even Canada. You know, you got Giroux and Payer and a lot of that. You know, they had a lot of the Argyle Sunday and Hank blood and you know, just you could rattle it off almost anywhere outside of the USA. There's good dogs everywhere, you know. Yes, and now because of the situation, you know, they're a lot more active outside the USA because you can't do that no more here. But you know, maybe now's their time to shine and do their thing, you know. And a lot of them been doing it for years, you know. Mexico, Mexico imported dogs as early as the 1930s. They had Colby dogs back then, but it really got hot and heavy in the late 50s, you know, to the present day. And even in Eastern Europe, some of them guys been having dogs for 50 years, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Rastaman, let me ask you, brother asked a question. He says, I would like to know what the panel thinks about using weightlifting protein powders, like human grade protein powders. As he said, back in the 80s, when I was conditioning bulldogs, I used protein powders for his dogs. He said, but he was young and dumb then. He don't know if that was something he should have did or not. But what's your idea? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, technology has really advanced. And way back then, everybody was under the assumption that the more carbohydrates you put in the dog, the better energy source it would be. And because the advancement of technology, they know that the more good fat sources that are you feeding the dog, they'll have more energy and they'll last a lot longer in performance. So time has changed. So if you're going to do anything, I would assume you would try to find something that's particularly made for the hounds and let that be it, because it'll be more structured towards those things that I've said as far as endurance and recovery. And human grade is protein is more pertaining to carbohydrates, you know.
Okay. What's your take on that, Ram? Protein,
I
using protein
gotta,
powders.
yeah, I gotta agree with the OG. And protein is good for humans if we trying to, bulk up and get stronger, shit like that. But a dog, not so much. Especially fucking game bred working pit bull. That muscle will fucking kill all your goddamn conditioning in fucking 10 minutes. So, you don't want a lot of fucking tight, dense muscle. You want, long, lean muscle that helps promote, oxygen and blood flow so you be able to still perform your tasks. Protein, cut all that shit out. You don't really need it. Like OG Rosterman just said, like dogs do better with a higher fat source anyway. If it was the same for people, we'll all be in shape around here because we all trying to be in America. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Down rim.
Your take, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, I used amino acids. I didn't use protein. Those protein powders, like both of the gentlemen here alluded to, was that's for bulk mainly, building bulk. And with a lot of dogs, most dogs, you don't want bulk. If you got, say, a Barnstormer, Bully Son type or something like that, and you don't expect to be there a long time, I guess it could help, but even that's not necessary for those type of dogs. They can still be strong without a protein powder. I never used that, and I don't think I would have used that, but I did use amino acids,
Right.
a little bit, just a little bit. They break down the protein, but it would be like comparing, a bodybuilder and a boxer, or a bodybuilder and a MMA fighter or something like that. You don't want them too bulky because then they can't move. Like Ram said, they'll tighten up because they're what's it called? Help me out here, Ram.
Lactic acid buildup.
There you go, lactic acid buildup. So you don't want that. You want them they'll run hot. Not run hot. We say run hot, which is true, but they get tired. Because it's too much bulk, and you can't maneuver properly because there's too much bulk. It's like, that's why you see a lot of guys, they can't, their arms don't come to their side because they got too much muscle. It's pretty, it's impressive, you're strong as hell, but you wouldn't be able to go no distance. Even some can't even go 30 minutes if you're too bulky. You just blow out and you're done. So I wouldn't advise it now.
Indeed.
Hey, hold on. Hey, G, Red Boy. We don't know. I heard the best competition right now, if you could make it, is in Ukraine. So, yeah, see if you could get over there and take your best keep with you. You feel me? See how you do.
Yeah, they're going over
But
there
no,
with
we
Russia.
don't know, bro. We ain't active at all, family. So I wouldn't be able to tell you who had what. Even if I knew, I still wouldn't. You feel me?
Yeah,
We
we don't
don't
know
do
nothing
that
about
over
that.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a historic show, sir. Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
listening.
You can still
All right.
chill though, but yeah, we ain't on that type of time around here.
Yeah, absolutely. Another question: greatest handlers of you've ever seen? Okay, I think we talked
Well, I
about.
said the greatest handlers of the past, not like
Yeah,
I've ever seen. Yeah.
greatest handlers of the past. Okay, that was
Yeah.
Ram's question. Greatest handlers of the past. I think we kind of dealt with this a while ago. Ram, let's start with you, brother.
Well, I was asking that because I wanted to really, ask the OGs because they've been around a long
Right.
time to be able to see, some top-notch handlers that everybody might not have heard of. Like, I could name ones from my time, but I don't know who active or not and all of that.
Right.
So I ain't want to
Absolutely.
blast
Yeah.
nobody. You
Yeah.
feel
Let me
me?
go to. Yeah, that's good. Let me go to Rasta Man on that one. Rasta, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, greatest handlers of the past.
I think Ricky Jones was a damn good handler. Let's see. I met a Cuban one night. They had a show down south. This has been years ago, and he was a little dude, man. But man, that dude handled the shit out that dog. I mean, you know, he won the fight. I mean, you know, just off handling, you know what I mean? And so I done seen some talented brothers that not just brothers, but people in general that can handle real good, but understood it. And then I've seen some that was like flop biz. You know what I mean? You know, they really didn't understand what they were doing. Didn't have a clue. They probably didn't have a clue why they was in there, you know? But yeah, some of the best ones I've seen, you know, there's been some good ones, man. There's been some good ones. And see, there again, somebody gonna come up that I know that was real great at it, but I can't think of them right now. But shit, I don't think.
We'll think about 20 names after we get off the phone.
Mr. Garcia, who you got?
I got, let's see, in my area and I'm talking about, you know, the West Coast. Tito and the Local Boys was good. Vince was good. OTK was good. Steve Hendricks. Let's see. You know, Smith and Walton, Bobby Smith, he was big, over 400 pounds, 6 foot tall. And for being such a big guy, he was pretty smooth, you know. Let's see who else. Let me think. Ken Tribe, you know, Freddie Jones was known for being a good handler. You know, that's going way back. But in my time, those would be the ones, you know. Even the Captain LA Dream Team. You know, them guys, they match a lot of dogs, man, back in the day.
Right.
Some people, you know, you hear, you know, 10 or 15 matches a year. That's a lot. They would do 10 or 15 dogs a year, and you're doing them more than once. So I don't know, some years they might have done 20 or 30 dogs, you know, or 20 or 30 matches, you know, with those 10 or 15 dogs. So the captain had a lot of experience too.
Yes, indeed. Ram, got
Hey,
one
I
ask
say, the Vieira brother that's rest in peace, he was a good handler. Like, it was hard to get that motherfucker. When you in there with him, he had fast ass hands, man.
Yeah, Ricky. Yeah.
Long live Ricky, man. That motherfucker.
Yeah.
We was on their ass one night. That motherfucker
yeah.
just kept getting these shit. Like, God damn, man, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it was all clean. No, he wasn't cheating. He was just had that iron, that reflex, that fast. Like, God damn.
Yeah, you got to be quick, but you got to be clean and smooth, not jerky,
you gotta have the timing. Like, your timing gotta be on, because you just fouled out. You know, that motherfucker, I was trying to get him touch foul. Nope, we got it clean. You get your dog from underneath us, man. What the fuck?
Yeah. You know, one thing I learned was, you know, you can tell when your dog's gonna come out of hold a lot of times, right? And what most people will do is the dog comes out of hold, they snatch him up. You can time it to where as the dog's coming out of hold, I mean, the second he comes out of hold, you already grab him.
Right.
And you'll snatch him up, and the other dude will be standing around looking, what the hell happened? You know?
Yeah.
But it's just practice.
To me, what makes the difference between a good handler and a great handler is a good handler favor his strength one hand, but a great handler be able to handle it with either hand.
Yes, sir.
See, I you know, as a young man watching Lonzo and all them, and I'm seeing guys making moves with one hand to cross their body to make a handle, when all they had to do was use the left hand on that side and use the right hand on this side.
Yes, sir.
You see where I'm coming from? But to be as detailed as what I'm speaking on, most people ain't looking at it that way. But I practice and I exercise, you know, I exercise using either hand. And you know, you gotta, you know, be fast enough to when you grab it with that one hand, you can't be weak with your hand. That hand got to be like, you know, lifting up 100 pounds with one hand.
Yep.
When you grab, you go straight up in there. You got it. Ain't no you grabbing and holding knee high, talking about oh I couldn't get. No, when you grab it, you grab and you go straight up in the air, like you know maybe like you got about 3 or 4 pounds or something. You know what I mean? But that don't come from talking. That comes from working at that and practicing that. And get that arm strength so when you grab him and pick him up, you can walk away with him without using your other hand.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I'm tripping. I don't know.
No. I practice it, Boone. You're right. That's what I used to do. I could handle with either hand, front, back, side, behind, laid out, whatever. You got it, you know. And it just comes from doing it over and over. And you are working that left hand. Most people right-handed.
Yeah,
and they have to get into the position to handle with their right hand. But if you can do it with your left from any position, you're good. You know? That's
right. Yeah.
No, you ain't tripping. Yeah, I did the same thing. We on the opposite sides of the country. We doing the same thing, brother.
Hey, well, you know, like to me, I wanted to understand it from all aspects. Just like when you playing basketball, football, everything is technique. So if you're going to understand something, then you need to understand the techniques of the game, you know, to be able to give your best performance, you know. So, you know, it just, but, you know, like, you know, I've seen in the past where people, you know, they would grab the dog and hold the dog knee high and then say, darn, man, you grab your dog, man. Like, damn, fool, you let the dog get him, you crazy man. All you had to do was go up 6 feet with him, and he would have never got him. But they mind don't click to that. It's something about, I don't know, man. I guess you know what I think what it is it's just like if you get a broad and you giving her 200-300 here, 200-300 there, 200-300, so when she move in your house, that's gonna turn into more money. You see what I'm saying? You done started a bad habit. You gonna have to keep that habit up now, cause if you ain't giving her that money like you were giving her before she got in there, then she gonna get on out of there. You see what I'm saying? So I just guess, you know, Joker, you know, you start a bad habit and just keep it going.
Moral of the story: don't be giving broads no money.
Well, I ain't gonna say that because you gotta have them. You know, we can give them a little money, but don't give them all your money.
Go ahead and give them all you got. Give them all you got. You know,
no, they can literally keep the coins. They're not $1 million on the field. You feel me? All money in, long live Nip.
When you go to the rental car, they say, when you bringing the car back? I say tomorrow.
Yeah.
OG crazy.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll give you a special in 3 days. I said, no, thank you.
You just need it for the night, huh?
And it's over.
Right.
Hey, look here. Ain't no more happiness.
I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah.
Salute to Sean in the super chat. Much love, much appreciation, Sean. He says, salute, General, in the panel. What are you guys' thoughts on Boerboels as family dog with kids? You know, bro, I'm not too familiar with Boerboels. I know what they are. I've seen them. They're some big, beautiful dogs and shit, but I don't know. I'm not too familiar with their temperament. And, like, I'm far from an expert on those dogs. Anybody on the panel have any opinion about Boerboels?
I caught a couple of them when I used to do dog training real heavy, and I say like, make sure whoever you getting them from is, breeding them for a nice even temper and not just, no crazy ass dog, because that motherfucker could get on anything and kill some shit, man. So you got to kind of be careful when you getting dogs like that for protection, and you want them around your kids. Spend the money it take to properly train them motherfuckers. That way your babies will be safe, your wife will be safe, shit, your ass will be safe. Because
Yeah,
when them big motherfuckers
yeah.
get on you, it's hard to get him off.
Goddamn right. And they need I know this much. I know they need a stern alpha owner. Like you can't be you can't be one of these little liberal sissies on them no dog like that. Because if that dog sense some pussy on you, he gonna
try to fuck you. Yeah, you can't be no skinny jean nigga with them dogs.
Mm-hmm. Any other opinions about Boerboels on the panel? Yeah, okay.
I don't know nothing about them, but seeing them on, just seeing them online. That's the most I know about them.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Well, we got through this one real smooth. Gonna end this one early. I got some free. Hey, I like this. We got out of here early. I can go downstairs and get frisky a little bit. Get a little frisky. You know what I mean?
There you go. Get lucky.
Yeah, get lucky. Yes, indeed.
A little bit.
Yeah. Make sure y'all go check out Schoolboys Registry. Hit the links to Schoolboys Registry or Schoolboys Facebook Messenger is in the description box underneath the video. So make sure y'all go and register your dogs. Get them dual registered with Schoolboy.
Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram too. Game Dog Talk, all one word. Matter of fact, I gotta be back on there, man. I be fucking. It's like a bajillion motherfuckers trying to get on the friends list. So make sure your page private, accept my friends request, so I can make sure you ain't no weirdo, man. And if you ain't got no post or nothing, none of that shit, I ain't accepting you. Because even if you're not, I'm gonna think you the police. You feel me?
Yeah, somebody trying to, thinking this the wrong kind of show. This is a historic show. Ain't nobody out here doing nothing illegal. So, go find something else to do, man. There's wars going on and shit. Go deal with them people. Leave us the fuck alone.
Yeah. I'd like to thank the 7-8, man. I've been selling a lot of keeps. That's what I'm trying to say. Ever since you mentioned it, that I have my keep for sale. A lot of people have been responding, so I appreciate it, brother.
Salute.
I still have them available. Anybody interested?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Salute. And Roster man, you got any last words for the people, man?
Yeah, brother. I'd like to say that being amongst y'all brothers is just like being in the Taj Mahal or going to Vegas. You know what I mean? right here at my kitchen table. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That song says, if you hear any noise, it's just me and the boys. Man.
Yeah.
Man, I like this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so big up to y'all brothers and all the people that be listening in, man. Much love.
Welcome down, Ram. Give us a disclaimer.
Yes, sir. As always, this shit is intended for, nor should it be used for any illegal purposes, man. If you is out there with the shit, just keep it to yourself, man. And you ain't got to impress me. I ain't going to be impressed by the shit no way, because I don't care what you're doing. I'm in the business of minding my business, and business is doing motherfucking great. You already know it's the weekend, so be careful, man. For real. And if it stink when you first start to hit it, just pull out, man. It ain't worth it. Don't do it.
Oh, boy, it's been an asshole.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for the support, man. We'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.